Hello everybody, welcome along to today's training webinar about scanning documents into SuiteFiles. We have a simple scanning solution built into SuiteFiles. While there are many scanning companies out there building all sorts of software on their devices that can scan to SharePoint, some of that software that they've built can be reasonably basic and not work too well with some of the constraints of Office 365. So we've targeted our scanning solution in what we thought was the lowest common useful function that most scanners these days have, and that is the ability to send email to an email address. So scan a document to an email address and have that document turn up there. What this means is that when we're scanning into SuiteFiles, we simply set up a folder where we can assign an email address to that folder. Then we can take that folder, take that email address and plug it into our scanner. In fact, it doesn't have to be part of a scanner. It could be, you could use it in Outlook or any other email system. And anytime you then send a document to that email address, that document will get saved into the folder that it's associated with. We then have an upload section or view within SuiteFiles itself, where you can actually see all of those files that have been uploaded using that email process, and you can then file those to an appropriate folder and maybe even rename them if you need to also. Often, obviously, scanning devices will give a document that it scans some kind of machine-generated name that doesn't reflect anything like the name of the document that you might, or a name that's useful for that document. So let's just have a quick look. Let's go and do a little look at our demo SuiteFiles account, and I'll run through the process of how we get you all set up and ready to go. So here we've got SuiteFiles and we've got our demo account. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a whole new folder, and let's call this folder Uploads. And when I've created the folder, what I need to do now is assign an email address to that folder. I do that by clicking on Edit and then the email option. This is going to create a unique email address. Now that email address can't be customized in any way, shape or form. We don't want people to be able to guess it so that they can't spam you with documents and send them into your SuiteFile system. So we create a very unique email address. It's listed here. And with that, I can take the email address. Obviously, if I'm going to go to my scanner, I'd need to write it down. But in my little demo here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go over to my Outlook, and I'm going to create a new email. I'm going to send it to that email address. Now, what I've got with our scanner here at SuiteFiles is I've got that email address set up as in the scanner's address book, so that any time I want to send a document from the scanner into SuiteFiles, I've already got this all set up. Let's put a document into my email, and let's click Send. Now that's obviously mimicking what a scanner would do. A scanner would scan the document, bundle it up into a PDF, and then send it off to the email address. If we go back into SuiteFiles, if we refresh, just give it a second, there we go. Just refresh the screen, you can see now that that document has been uploaded. It always says it's been uploaded by the administrator. Simply we're using an some admin credentials for uploading the file behind the scenes, and you can see it's been uploaded. It's got today's date and the time, 11:05 here in Wellington. Now that's fine. What can we do with that file? Well, we could process it from here, but also what we've got is this uploads view, or scans and uploads, sitting within SuiteFiles. It's one of the standard default views that comes up, and everyone has it. When you click into here, what it does is it shows you all of the files that have been loaded into SuiteFiles using this email functionality, whether it's come from a scanner or, as you can see here, a document that has been emailed from some kind of email client. There is a little bit of a bug in the system at the moment, unfortunately, but this is supposed to show us a preview of this document. It's something that we're fixing right now. But if you click on it, you can actually see the full file, the PDF file that has been scanned into SuiteFiles. Now, at this point, I might want to refile the document. Maybe I want to give it a different name. As you can see, it's got some kind of crazy name in here that has been machine generated. So let's just call it a trial checklist. And if I wish to save this file to a different location, I can click on these elements of the folder breadcrumb that I've got here. So let's click on Home. And what that's going to do, when it refreshes this drop-down list, it's going to show me all of the subfolders under Home. Now, let's just put it, say, into our Webinars folder. If I had subfolders under that, you'd be able to choose them as well. And you can obviously navigate your way through the folder structure to whichever folder you like. Now, I click File It, and what happens is that file is grayed out, so it's no longer in my queue of things that can be filed from my uploads view. And if we go to our webinars folder, we will find that we've got a new file on there called trial checklist that was loaded in today. So under webinars, there you go, there's trial checklist. You can see it's the time this file was last modified because we changed its name and we moved it. It's been updated to 1107 now. Also, if we go back to our folder that we created, we'll find that it's empty. So that file has been moved and put into the appropriate place in my system. Now, some things to know about this. You can set up any folder in SuiteFiles to have an email address. It's over to you how many folders you have set up. Some people ask us, should I set up every client folder to have one of these email addresses so that I can instantly scan documents direct to each client folder? And the answer probably is no. I suggest that you don't actually set every client folder up, because if you've got thousands of client folders, you've got to manage thousands of email addresses. The way that we work and the way that we recommend as an approach is that we've set up the one folder. In this one, it's my uploads for training demo. I actually have another folder in here. I just call it scans. Generally speaking, I would scan every document into this folder, and then I would process them all through the uploads view and put them into the correct folder that's needed. Now, it might be that you want to have 3 or 4 folders set up for scanning into for various different reasons, and then that's okay also. Every folder that you scan into, though, you can see all of those files through this uploads view. Another question we get asked often is, do we OCR the PDF files, so therefore we can do full text search over them during the scanning process? The answer at the moment is no. We're looking into how we can do that. Watch the space. Hopefully that's something that we can have out for you sometime in the future. And that's our scanning functionality. If you'd like to ask some questions now around how it works and specific things for your organisation, we've got a couple of minutes. You can type those into our GoToWebinar tool. While people may be doing that, let's also bring this page up. If you've got any questions that you need to have answered, if you want to do it outside this forum, our support team is always there, support@suitefiles.com, as is our knowledge base, which is help.suitefiles.com. We have got a question come through asking whether we'll be uploading this to our YouTube channel. The answer to that is yes, absolutely. Okay, folks, we've got no other questions at this stage, so we'll call it quits. Thanks for coming along and having a look at our webinar. As I mentioned, if you do have questions that come up as a result of this, please contact us, support@suitefiles.com. Thanks very much for your time, and have a great day.